Welcome to day 7 of the Re-Energize Challenge. We have another practice to add on to your asana and breathwork practice today. And this is Uddiyana Bandha, and we're going to practice Uddiyana. And don't worry, I'm going to tell you exactly what that means in order to tone and cleanse. Okay, so before we dive into Uddiyana Bandha, first we must mention prana. Prana is energy. Okay, this is what it's called in Sanskrit. So we refer to prana. You may have heard of chi and just energy, right? In our everyday world, everything is made up of energy. We know that. In physics, there is a law that says energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only transform. So we really use bandhas in order to transform our energy. What we see on the outside of our physical body, how we perceive things, it's all a reflection of what's inside. And what's inside is more subtle, right? That's the subtle energy. So when we are talking about bandhas, bandha means lock or bind. And we use these bandhas kind of as doors or valves or a dam in order to shift the energy within us. Okay? So there are 3 main bandhas. There are more than that in the body, but 3 main ones. And so we use the bind in order to hold energy in a certain way and to shift how it flows. Okay, so let me give you an example of like a real world. Okay, when you think of water, in an actual dam that's holding water, we create hydroelectricity by holding the water and then allowing it to come out in a different way, right? The force of the water is going to create energy. So it's the same thing in the energy within us. We mentioned the doshas, right? Vata, Pitta, Kapha. We have different tendencies, different energies in our body. So for those of you who have experienced anxiety, you know it kind of feels like a shakiness, more of kind of up here, usually in the torso, like in the stomach or the heart, overthinking, right? So we use the bandha in order to bring some of that energy down. And then kapha can be kind of that heavy. If you've ever felt depressed or just low, like I don't feel like doing anything, we can have the energy within us that feels stagnant and low and heavy, which is what we've been talking about during this season. Coming out of winter and then the changing weather coming into spring can create kind of like a heavy, stagnant energy or prana. So we're going to use this bandha in order to move and transform our energy. Now, a prerequisite for when we're going to practice Uddiyana today is really having a steady breath in your yoga asana practice. So if you have not practiced asanas, the postures, for at least a year, I'm going to take you through a guided meditation and I invite you to practice that. But once we get to practicing the bandha, I'm going to invite you to just watch, okay? Because this is not a beginner practice when we're actually practicing the breath with the bind, okay? So just keeping that in mind and keeping it in mind that this is a very deep, in-depth science and it's okay to not get it all right away during this 10-day challenge, right? So Uddiyana Bandha, Uddiyana means upward flying. Uddi is upward flying. So it's kind of that energy of bringing it up. When we're talking, that's why we're doing this season. We have the heaviness of winter, the sogginess of coming into spring. So we want to bring our energy up and energize and create movement. Okay? So the benefits of this and really any of the bandhas, I'll just say generally of any of the bandhas, is that when we know how to manipulate our energy, when we have awareness of our energy, we are able to have more focus. We bring our attention to a specific area. We notice before we start to get into a panic, we notice way before, like, oh, my breath is a little more shallow. I feel more energy like right here, right? So it builds that awareness, and then we can cultivate more focus and more efficiency in the things that we are doing because we channel our prana, our energy, appropriately. Instead of being all over the place, right? We're able to guide it in these specific ways. Now, Uddiyana Bandha specifically creates this purification effect, especially because, as you will see, we're really using the middle area here of the abdominals, of the digestive fire. And with all of them, you are able to create a purification of your entire internal atmosphere. So that it's like that cleaning out, just having the awareness and really noticing your internal atmosphere. Like we're always telling you in yoga, listen to your body. But a lot of you don't know how to listen to your body yet because it's a practice. And that's okay. I'm going to teach you how to do that. And we're just going to do it one step at a time. So you just start to notice. You try to notice maybe your breath or maybe your heart rate, or how you feel in your stomach. You just notice one step at a time, and then you start to have more awareness, more and more the more that you practice, okay? So as we said, we're practicing Uddiyana today. I am going to take you first through a meditation, and this meditation is appropriate for everyone. Okay, so whenever we're doing a guided meditation, you want to be comfortable. If your physical body is not comfortable, you will not be able to focus or to receive the benefits. So if you're sitting down, you can sit on a bolster like this, or on a pillow, or in a chair. Okay, so sitting comfortably, your hips should be slightly above your knees. I invite you to close your eyes, to exhale. To inhale your shoulders up towards your ears and then back and slightly down to the middle point. And just beginning to invite awareness. As we pause and just connect with our breath, we can just begin to notice our breath. Are you inhaling more than you're exhaling? Are you exhaling more than you're inhaling? And as you begin to notice that, you can begin to create an equal breath. So that you inhale maybe for 4, and you exhale for 4. Enjoying nice full breaths. And while you're slowing down and noticing your breath, maintaining the length of your spine, you may start to fold forward. So bringing the shoulders back and up, lengthening out of the crown of your head, your chin is slightly down, and you're feeling connected with the sits bones connected to the earth. Now, as you maintain that breath, I invite you to bring your awareness to your navel. Breathing in and out. And just seeing if you can notice and bring your awareness to the internal atmosphere around your navel. That space inside, in between the navel and the spine. And then I invite you to envision a yellow ball right there in between your spine and your navel. And seeing that yellow ball of light beginning to expand with the inhale. And then to contract with the exhale. Inhaling, seeing that yellow ball of light with its rays shooting out expand. And on the exhale, it slightly contracts. Continuing that with your breath and noticing how with each inhale, as it expands a little bit further. And even though it contracts, it doesn't go all the way back to a small ball. It stays growing. Inhaling, seeing that yellow ball, your navel area expanding. And exhaling, gently contracting. Continuing full breaths, making sure to exhale completely. And keeping that bright yellow light. And now envisioning your navel and your spine beginning to come together and meet. And you will notice the quality of your breath may change slightly. Taking nice full breaths, feeling as if physically your navel and your spine are coming together, creating this dam. This door gently closing, allowing energy to build above your navel in the heart space. With each breath, you see that ball of light, of yellow light, continuing to expand. But as this door is closed, you notice it's not going below the navel and into the legs. It's staying at the navel and above. Continuing to grow, being in no rush at all, taking your time. And feeling the power that you have right now to be able to transform your energy, feeling that expansiveness that no one can take away from you, right here in your power center and your heart. And now gently releasing that feeling of the navel and the spine coming together. And coming back to your normal breath, allowing that yellow ball to begin to dissolve into your body. Taking a few cleansing breaths to just bring your awareness into this moment. And feeling whatever you feel. Noticing the transformation of your energy. And opening your eyes. Okay, well done. I can't see you, but I imagine that you did this beautifully. So we're going to go into the physical practice now of Uddiyana Bandha. So if you are pregnant, if you have just eaten a meal, if you have health conditions, any abdominal issues, unregulated high blood pressure, you're going to check with your doctor first with those. If you have eaten, wait a couple hours until you practice. If you do not have an established yoga practice where you have a steady breath, just watch. It's really good to watch to see the next levels of what's available for you in yoga and begin to energetically connect with that, okay? So still watch the practice. We're going to come into a standing position. And you're going to stand with your legs about 2 feet apart. Going to really lift my shirt up here so that you can see, because you really need to see this area of the body. And I invite you to go to your in front of a mirror. That can be really helpful for you to be able to see your body, okay? So first of all, your feet are just 2 feet apart approximately. And I invite you to just place your hands on your ribs and just inhale and exhale. And when you do that, really encouraging the ribs to expand so that we can feel how this area can expand and contract, how your ribs can expand and contract. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, now that you've felt that and you've brought some awareness to that area, we're going to practice the first part of this breath. So when we do Uddiyana Bandha, this area that is connected with movement, with releasing stagnation, with our willpower, the Manipura chakra, we're really bringing a lot of awareness to this area here. So we're going to take it one step at a time, break it down, okay? So first of all, we're going to inhale, expand the ribs, and then exhale, fold forward. You can bring your hands all the way down to your knees, or you can keep them a little bit higher if you've already practiced this before. So inhale, lift up. Exhale out of your mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Go ahead and practice with me. Exhale. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. Coming up. Now, of course, if at any time you start to feel lightheaded, you're just going to slow down, pause. And we're really practicing any bandhas cautiously. We're not going in aggressively. We're going in gently into the bandha, okay, with respect, because this is a more advanced practice, okay? So after you do that first exhale, there is a mock inhale, okay? And it looks like this. You inhale, then you exhale, and then I lift up and I do a mock inhale. And then I lift up, okay? So it's as if you are plugging your nose and inhaling, right? It's creating a vacuum. So we inhale, we exhale out of our mouth. We create that vacuum of a mock inhale. You could try it with plugging your nose and just imagine you're inhaling. And we hold the breath. We retain the breath. And then when we can't retain the breath anymore, we come up, we take an inhale, and we go down again. So let's do it just a couple times together so that you can start to explore that. Inhale, fully exhale. Empty all the air out. Lift up, create a vacuum. And then lifting up. Inhale. Again, exhale. Vacuum and retain the breath until you can't hold the breath anymore. And then lifting up. Okay? So pausing, noticing how you feel with this. Okay? Notice if you start to feel cramping anywhere or lightheaded. If so, practice more gently, or just stay with the first version where we inhale and we exhale, and then we inhale and then we exhale, okay? Step by step with this. So for those of you who feel ready for that version with the entire Uddiyana Bandha, we're going to practice 10 rounds of that. For those of you who are not yet at that level, you can practice the first breath, or you can just stand here and breathe Feeling your rib cage expand and then deflate 10 times, okay? Whichever one you do, you're going to experience the benefits of the breath and removing stagnation, okay? So preparing, looking in the mirror to help you to see your body, okay? Inhale. Exhale completely. Creating the bind. Inhale and lift up. Continue at your own rhythm. Everyone breathes differently. Everyone has different lung capacity, okay? So continue on your own rhythm. Count 10 for you. Arriving back together, closing your eyes and feeling the effects of Uddiyana Bandha. Okay. So you can practice this breath, and you'll notice also that I went at a few different tempos, right? A few different rhythms. So you can explore that, right? Because you're exploring as you have awareness. Sometimes you will want to do it shorter or a little bit quicker. Okay, so you can do this practice in the 20-minute yoga for full body detoxification at the end when we do the second bellows breath. And if you're doing another practice, you can do it after your asana to do your pranayama before your mindfulness, okay? Before your mindfulness practice. So let me know how this goes if you have any questions at all. And remember with bandhas to follow the prerequisites, to be cautious, to go in with respect to these more advanced practices. For those of you who practice with me, we will be going over this in class so that you can have a teacher's eyes on you to support you with this practice. And I encourage that for anyone going into breath work, pranayama, bandhas, to really have the support of informed, experienced eyes on you to help you and give you the tips and guidance you need. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.